Hey everybody, welcome on in to Sports Live in the 215. Today we'll get back to talking Eagles as the past couple of days they've been hard at work. Uh, Howie Roseman has been hard at work, really just re-securing his guys and obviously um, not re-securing everyone, but we're here to talk about two of the big fish um, that he did bring back or bring back in Zack Baun's case and extend in Saquon Barkley's case. So let's let's uh, let's dive into it. Maybe maybe we should start with Saquon Barkley because he had one of the most historic seasons that that a running back has ever seen. Again, words to describe how great he was just they they do not come at a premium. But that guy was special, and special doesn't even begin to really describe how good that guy was. He was just on another planet offensively. Again, that was the greatest running back season I've seen since Adrian Peterson in 2012. Um, and for an Eagle since since Shady McCoy. But yeah, like he's just it's just a really special year, and he got rewarded with a 2-year $41 million extension. And keep in mind he had 2 years left on that 3-year contract he signed last offseason. So he's essentially here for 4 to 5 more years. I want to say 4 more years, but my math could be wrong. As always, correct me in the comments. Take a shot every time you hear that. But um, yeah, that guy was just the best running back in football. Probably one of the very best players in football. Um, Not probably, definitely was. He and Derrick Henry really kind of revitalized kind of the running back market this past season with how great of seasons they did have. Obviously, Saquon on another level, but you got to give credit to Derrick Henry as well. He had a great season. But Saquon Barkley just my jaw would hit the floor every time every time I would see Saquon Barkley play, even when he was sticking the knife in the Eagles, when he played for New York, and we more often than not got the better half of that. But Saquon is ridiculous. So um, one of the lessons Howie learned is like this offensive line can make any running back, but there, but this running back, this great running back who has subpar, and that's putting it nicely, offensive lines in New York. His only other Pro Bowl teammate being I believe Evan Ingram when they were both with the Giants. I forget what year that was. I forget what year Evan Ingram made the Pro Bowl, but they just I know they had I know there was one year where they had Odell, Sterling, and Eli Manning kind of getting long in the tooth, but that's kind of an outlier. Like he never had like just this crazy amount of talent over here in New York, or over here in Philly, or that he does in Philly that he had in New York. Um, but this guy is just he he's just the best running back I think I have ever seen. And I saw Shady McCoy in his prime. It was the probably the greatest running back season I've ever really seen. And that guy's just words they don't, again, they don't come at a premium when describing Saquon Barkley. Like, he's just, again, on another planet, and I feel sorry for the rest of the NFL, because they're gonna have to deal with it for at least the next 4 years. Now, um, like, I don't foresee a very significant drop off in his play over that time. I mean, um, the the sh- the shelf life of a running back is usually pretty short here in the NFL. But with the way the Eagles keep their backs fresh, I think Saquon will have many more amazing seasons to come. So I I I just think I excuse me, I just think we've got a lot more exciting running back play still to come, and I'm very excited for it. It's just it, it's just amazing finally having 2 off seasons in a row, really, because Zack Baun and Saquon Barkley came here in the same off season, where how he kind of values linebacker, and well, actually, it wasn't even that. Like, Zack Baun kind of got in the building, and Vic Fangio said, "I think this guy's a linebacker," and they tried it in OTAs, and it worked out. But we'll get to Zack Baun in a little bit, but um, the Eagles kind of used him as like or at least the front office foresaw him as this rotational edge rusher, maybe occasionally on third downs, and maybe to spell Bryce Huff. And if he comes back, he's maybe got to have more of a reduced role. And when I say maybe, I mean definitely. I still can't believe I said that when we did sign Bryce Huff. I think I was like everybody else, just kind of blinded by the stats, and I didn't like I didn't really say, well, how well, like, I didn't look too too deeply into how are these stats coming, and I just thought it was the New York Jets being the New York Jets, and like they only see him as a rotational piece. Um, but yeah, maybe that's more his style, and like I hope he does figure it out, and I hope he does develop. But anyway, back to Saquon. It, it's it's the greatest running back season like I've ever seen. I mean, that guy. I feel like he kind of transformed. He kind of he kind of helped transform this offense, and he really kind of helped transform this league. when you look back 5-10 years down the road, um, you're gonna see teams maybe try to get bigger linebackers, and uh, try to stop the run more. We're kind of getting back to a little bit more of that 2000s brand of football, and that's thanks to Saquon Barkley, um, and truly, truly Zack Baun, and he signed he um or let me actually give you the terms of the Barkley extension. 2 years, $41 million. Um, so he's here. He's probably here for the next 4 years. So, or yeah. So with with that being said, let's get into some Zack Baun talk. I mean, this guy basically, like, he said Philly Philly has been the best year of his career. So this is that's a testament to uh, that's a testament to this organization, these coaches, and probably but and definitely the teammates he has around him, and his friendship with Nakobe Dean. I've seen that blossom in, like, the Eagles mic'd up stuff, and, like, uh seeing that relationship develop is something that's super special, and I personally can't wait for it. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it develop more. Excuse me. Uh, and yeah. Um, get get well soon, Nakobe, obviously, but the way that guy kind of ran sideline to sideline, how he kind of how he led the defense, that's what I'm trying to say, was something very, very, like, very Jeremiah Trotter Senior esque, and he's coming back on a contract of 3 years, 51 million. This maybe, like, this time last year, we had signed him for a 1 year, $1.5 million uh, contract. So he definitely paid his money. You definitely he definitely earned his pay. That's what I'm trying to say. Um, but I realistically see this deal kind of as a 2-year deal, and that third year, since he's 28, once a linebacker, like, goes into their early 30s, you start to kind of see that drop off. I think by that third year of the contract, I think he'll start to become a step slow. But if you can get 2 years of premier play and then slide Jeremiah Trotter kind of more in the Zack Baun role, Jeremiah Trotter Jr., that is, um, more kind of in the role that Zack Baun has now, this defense will just keep humming along, and it'll be fantastic for years to come, and I'm excited for it. Now, I don't know what the future holds, obviously, um with Zack Baun. He could be great in his final year, but I'm just saying he's 28 now, and by that final year he'll be 30. So you don't really foresee it, but time will tell. Let's I just can't wait to see what happens. It's 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 Howie season, baby, and we're all just living in it, and it's a fun time to be an Eagles fan. There were so many times in my life where the Eagles they were a predominant organization, but it was one that you couldn't really say, well, they won't get over the top. There's always something that will kind of get in their way. And you had formerly Redskins fans, now Commanders fans, and Giants fans, and Cowboys fans, of course, kind of ragging on you for having 0-1 Super Bowl. But now we're part of the Rings the Rings Club, and it's just I think that puts you in a whole different category of Super Bowl champion. Like it puts you not quite up there with the Patriots and Steelers, but it puts you in a different category than just, oh, you're a one-time Super Bowl champion. It was a fluke with a backup quarterback. Cool story, but talk to me when you do it again. And we did it again. We were back in the Super Bowl in 22, and unfortunately lost that matchup, and then back in the Super Bowl 2 years after that. And one thing I did want to bring up, which credit to Hunter Brody of Broads Media and 94 WIP for mentioning this on the Broads Media YouTube channel, but in 22, when that team had a 70 sack season, especially from their defensive line. It was predominantly defensive line. Their linebacker play, it wasn't bad, but it was overshadowed. It wasn't as great as what we have now, and I think that's what Howie Roseman has learned. He's learned, like, you don't need this elite level pass rush. You need a good strong pass rush for sure, but you do need to value your linebackers. I mean, those are the guys that are in the middle of your defense and are usually calling the plays. Your Zack Bauns, your Nakobe Deans, um, Jeremiah Trotter, um, and to give more of a legendary example, and as far as the NFL goes, maybe even your Ray Lewis's. So, like, he's able to kind of adapt and get really solid linebacker play because he does have a not quite as explosive pass rush. So he's able to kind of allocate more resources to those linebackers and to a running back, and those are positions that it's well documented that Howie Roseman did not value. And once he saw the this this or just the elite level play in both Saquon and Zack Baun, he was kind of able to really understand, like, oh, I gotta pay these guys. Like, I often made the argument that, like, when people would say Howie doesn't pay a running back or Howie doesn't pay a linebacker, and my counter argument to that would be, yes, he does. He just hasn't had the chance to have a special season from a running back, and a special season from a linebacker. Excuse me, I'm just very itchy, but yeah. Once Barkley and Baun had those special seasons, they were rewarded, and it it shows that they're gonna get rings on their fingers, and how he actually learned from his first Super Bowl, because the first Super Bowl it was let's pay everybody, let's run it back, and those guys weren't hungry because they thought, we already won. Um, Bill Belichick, who was on the Pat McAfee show, was like, we looked at it every time we we kind of won the Super Bowl, or even just had roster turnover year over year during our 20 years in New England. We tried to overhaul 33% of the roster because we wanted we wanted a good portion of guys who were hungry to win, and that's why teams like the Chiefs and teams like the Patriots did have so much success, is because they had they had guys that had yet to kind of quench that thirst of winning a Super Bowl. So that's what Howie has learned about winning a Super Bowl the second go around. The first time it was just bring back everybody, they're going to duplicate the same results. But credit to Howie, he learned, he adapted just like the draft, and it's working out for us. Thank you guys for listening to this, and as always, go Birds, and I'll talk to you probably later today. Till then, be safe, stay awesome. Thanks, guys. Go Birds.